was fooling, but I wasn't fooling those plants. As soon as I walked into the garden center and to Costco, honey, they stood upright and they say, you might as well come on over and you might as well get us because we going home with you today. Thank you all so much for stopping by today. So y'all know in one of the last videos that we did, I specifically said everything was going good, everything was getting planted as long as I didn't keep buying plants. Now, I don't know who I thought I was fooling today. It was a great day though. It was really, really good. I was off today. I got a very early start. Now, I wanted to be home by a certain time, but I was like 3 hours later than what I wanted to be back by, but still that's okay. So today let me share with you what I picked up over, I would say, the last 2 days. Here's the thing though, most of these plants that I'm about to show you, I know exactly where I'm going to put them. Oftentimes I will get plants and then I just try to figure it out as I go, but I'm serious, y'all. I pretty much know where all of these are going, most of them. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So really quickly, let me just tell y'all, I had this plant stand over by these trees, but they are about to get cut down. And so I had to do a lot of moving of my plants. So that's why this is like in the middle of the yard. And as soon as the trees get cut down, I will move them back over there. But I'm not going to fill up this stand with plants that I just randomly bring in. Like I said before, a lot of them I know where I'm going to plant, and so I'm just going to, over the next couple of days, go ahead and get them planted. Some of them are going in the raised beds, some of them are going in the herb garden, and some of them are going in containers. So let's go ahead and get started, but make sure y'all stick around to the end because I want to show you a plant that I picked up that I had heard about a couple of months ago. I've never heard of this plant. Heard about it a couple of months ago in this garden planning masterclass that I had attended, and I looked it up and lo and behold, I saw it at the garden center and I'm like, these will be so pretty. They had 2 different varieties, but I only got one and I know exactly where they are going. So let's go ahead and start right here. Y'all know I love lemon verbena. I love it for my teas. I want y'all to look it up yourself, the medicinal properties of the teas, but I absolutely love it and I love growing it. But this was one of the plants that I left. And so I bought 4 because I want to make sure that I never run out of it. And it basically grows about 3 feet in height and about 2 feet wide. So I'm going to put these in the herb, at least 1 or 2 of them in the herb garden that we're creating, and then I also put some in containers. But this time I'm going to be very smart and I'm going to take cuttings of the lemon verbena because this is not a plant that is really popular here in the southeast for some odd reason. When I've gotten it and grown it in the past, I've actually had to order it online. So I'll make sure that I don't run out again. And here's the thing, we got these from Pike Nursery. Y'all know this is one of my favorite nurseries in the Atlanta area, but we got these from Pike Nursery. And here's the thing about them, because I originally went there today, I am looking for the trailing rosemary. So I bought some in the fall, and evidently they did not withstand that 13-degree temperature. All of the other rosemaries that I bought did, but this one didn't. So I was looking for that to put in the raised garden bed so it could be able to trail over, and I have yet to find it. But I noticed that when you see different herbs, because sometimes they'll bring these one-off herbs, if you see them, go ahead and get them. Their herbs are priced a little higher than the garden center, but you do see herbs that you don't normally see at your big box stores. So that's why I went ahead and got these, because I went like maybe 3 weeks ago, did not see any lemon verbena, and then I went today and they were actually like, it was only a few left. So I went ahead and I picked those up. Okay, so Lowe's is having right now a 2 for $10 sale. And so I got these right here. I've grown Shasta daisy before. It's such a beautiful plant. I'm gonna try to find a picture and flash it up when we've grown it before, but this variety right here I specifically wanted to get because this is going to go in the front of one of our in-ground beds. So this is the White Lion Shasta daisy, and what I love about it, these are perennials, but this one doesn't get very tall. It gets about 8 to 10 inches in height and 8 to 12 inches in width. So it's going to be one of my lower growing plants that's going to be in the front, and they have some nice blooms. And this is what I look for, y'all. Oftentimes when people are in the stores, they look for things that are full of blooms. I don't. I like to see the blooms coming like this and like this and like this, but I don't like to see the plants full of blooms. And these are ones that I like to deadhead so I can make sure that the blooms continue to come. Now this is my favorite right here, and this is from Costco, and it is the Lavender Tree. And y'all, let me just tell you this, when I see these at the big box stores, the price is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and I'm like, we're not about to do that today. A little bit cheaper right here, but what I'm going to do is I am going to put these in a container. So these are going to be in a container garden, or they're going to be in a pot, so that if I need to move it around to find the perfect space, because I told y'all here in the southeast, you got to watch some of these stores. There's certain type of lavenders that we can grow, because lavender doesn't really like a whole bunch of humidity. So I did get some varieties that were bred for the hot and the humid climates of the southeast, especially here in Georgia. So we're going to put these we're going to put this one in a pot, and this is going to be kind of at the beginning of the herb garden, and I'm just going to watch it because I know it's going to be beautiful and I know it's going to be great, and I'm going to keep it trimmed up to be this tree formed right here. I got this from Costco, and they were $22.99, and let me tell you, the thing about Costco is when you see them, go ahead and get them, because they put a lot of the plants inside. They don't have light and they don't really have water. It was only 3. They had a pink one that looked like this, but y'all, they looked like they was about to check out. And I'm like, I'm not about to spend $22.99 for a plant that looks like it's about to check out. Y'all know I am a clearance buyer when it comes to some plants. Now, I like to buy a lot of plants. Like on this rack right here, I could tell they had just rolled it out. When they just rolled it out, I'm okay with like the 2 for $10. I'm okay with paying regular price, but if you want me to pay regular price, the plant better be looking good. So it was like 3 left. I took one, and then I directed another lady that I saw to where they were. I really would have got a pink one, but not when it looked like it was about to check out. So we're going to put those in pots, and then we are going to grow this. This is going to be so pretty, like right at the herb garden. I can already tell it. So here is another find from Pike Nursery, and this is the bay leaf. Now, I'm not going to keep talking about the old garden, y'all. This is probably going to be the last video where you hear me talking about the old garden, because we're going to get ready to recreate this, and this is going to be the beautiful garden right here. But this was one of the plants that I left. And when it comes to bay leaf, I don't use bay leaf a lot, but I do use it in a lot of soups and stews. So we're gonna put these in a pot, because here's the thing. I ordered a small 4-inch bay leaf, 4-inch. It was in a 4-inch pot when it arrived, and it didn't make it when it got down to 13. Now, this tag right here, so this is the Sweet Bay by Monrovia. It does say hardiness zones 8 to 10, and it says down to 10 to 20. This grows really as a tree, but again, I don't use bay leaf like that. So we're gonna put these in containers just in case I need to move it, then I can do just that. But look at the new growth on here already. This wasn't here when I got it, like none of the new growth. So we're gonna put these in a pot as well, and we're gonna put this in the herb garden too. The herb garden is just gonna be phenomenal. Everything you can think of is going to be in the herb garden. Okay, so make sure you stick around, because I'm almost at the plant where I just saw this like for the first time in I don't know how many years, and I've never seen it here in Georgia. So I want y'all to let me know if you've seen it. But again, Lowe's has a sale. Finally, they got they got some of their plants 3 for 10. No, I didn't need to pick any up, honey, but I just felt like I needed to patronize Lowe's this weekend. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get even more tomatoes, although I planted about 40 from seed, but let me go ahead and get some more. But these right here, y'all, let me tell you my thought process with this. These are actually determinate tomatoes. Okay, determinate. And I got these because determinate means that they put on most of their crop all at once, and then that's it. So I figure, okay, go ahead and put on all your tomatoes, and then we can go ahead and pull it up and replace it with something else. Now the tomatoes that we've planted thus far, those are indeterminate. So that means that they're going to keep growing until like frost or the first killing frost. But the two type of tomatoes that I picked up and one of them said it was for heat too. I was sitting there reading. One of it said it was like for heat, and it you know, it's great. So we got 2 different type of determinants, which means I have some tomato cages. So with my normally with the determinant, I use the tomato cages. If I have indeterminate, that's when I'll start trellising or using like a very, very tall cage. One of the tomatoes that we just planted, I think that has to be, the tomato cage has to be about 7 feet. And I think that the tag said it gets about 6 to 7 feet, but these are determinate. Did I need 12? Hey, the more the merrier. We're gonna share. We're gonna share everything throughout our garden with family and friends. So yes, I did. And then I'm also gonna make some sauce. One of these were good for sauces. I think it was this one. And then I'm also gonna freeze some. So we gonna have something to do with it for sure. And so I also picked up some pepper plants. Yeah, I started some peppers from from seed as well. But this Mad Hatter right here, I just like the shape of the, I hope y'all can see it. I like the shape of these peppers, but these are not, it says Mad Hatter, but they're actually a sweet pepper. It's not hot, although mad, you think hot. This is the sweet variety. I do think they have one that has a little bit of heat to it, but just like I showed y'all in another video, I'm gonna top this off instead of growing straight up. Y'all know I like to top off my peppers. We also picked up a giant Marconi sweet pepper right here, so we're going to top those off as well. I went ahead and picked this one up right here. This is a burpless bush tomato, so it's a bushy one, but I said it's at least 2 in here. I saw some with like 3, but they didn't look very healthy, so we at least got 2. We'll split them in half and plant those. And then y'all know I put a little bit, and my family loves pepper sauce, so we went ahead and got some Tabasco peppers because we're gonna make like a pepper sauce with these that you can put over your greens. And so that's what we're gonna do with this, and find somewhere to plant it. What I tell y'all about stuff. This was clearance, and I bought some more clearance plants. I'm not gonna show you the other ones that I bought. I'm gonna put up a video or a short to show you how they look. I trimmed them up. They're perennials, but a lot of people turned their nose up at the garden center as they was passing by. They turned their nose up at those plants, but I knew, I'm gonna just tell y'all, and I'm not sponsored. I always tell you I'm not sponsored. I don't mind paying the price for proven winner plants. Now these were on clearance and they didn't look this good, but y'all, we got the most amazing rain the other day, and you see how they perked back up. I'm like, nothing's wrong with these plants. They might need a little deadheading, a little trimming, but it's like an old house that has good bones. People don't see it and they look past the beauty, but I saw it, honey. After that rain, look how these blooms start coming out. Okay, this is the lemon slice right here, lemon slice. I'm gonna put these in containers. Calibrachoas do better in containers, in my experience and in the past. Now, if you want the super petunias, you can put those in the ground. They do amazing too. But the calibrachoas, really, in my opinion, I like to grow them in containers. And I have some white containers that I'm going to put them in because I think they're just absolutely going to go really beautiful, whether I plant them apart or together. But these were on clearance. But again, y'all go ahead and subscribe. I'm not going to show you yet because I got to put the wood chips on here. But I got 3 of them. And I'm telling y'all, people were just walking on by. But I said they're perennials. Proven Winners has a good reputation, and I know that these plants are going to come back. And just with that rain, I can already see that they're going to flourish. They just need a little bit of deadheading, a little bit of talking to, a little bit of love. But again, hit the subscribe button because I'm going to show y'all once they come up in this garden, once I put those wood chips on, you will never know that they were clearance plants. So I'm going to step back a little bit because these are called Geum, Geum. And again, when I attended a garden planning masterclass, the lady spoke about them. I had never heard of them before, but they are really pretty. These are Red Dragon Geum, but you see the color variation? So I'm thinking that it maybe starts off as like an orange color and then maybe go to a red color. But they also had another type, I think it was like Miss Marguerite, I don't know. But it looked the same. The only difference was it was a little bit wider and taller. These get 24 inches in height and 12 inches in width. It is perennial, but look at the cold hardiness on here. Like -10 to 20, you shouldn't, I shouldn't have any problems, okay? And so I thought that these would look really pretty with these summer colors of the bell peppers, of the tomatoes, of the squash. I'm thinking this is gonna grow amazing in here. And then, like the lady was saying on the masterclass, they kind of have like a flowy type thing. So I can just imagine once all of these blooms start to flourish, they will be so pretty. I'm going to put them in ground, and I think I'm going to put them where we have our squash that we've started, or maybe our cucumbers. I think this would be a beautiful combination with this. But again, put it down in the comments if you've ever grown or heard of this plant before, because I didn't. And this is how I know it's something new in my area, because people were, it was like 3 people that said, what is that plant right there? Like I had 3 of them in the cart. I started to get 6, but I said, slow down, plant what you got. You know where to come and find it. If you need more, slow your roll. So 3 people asked me, what are those plants? And I heard the guy behind me, he didn't want to ask. He was talking to his wife. He was like, what are those? And the lady was like, I don't know. And so she finally asked me. And so I think that they're going to be pretty. The leaf variation is different on here, but I already know where I'm going to put them. And I just feel like they're just going to be some floating flowers that's really going to stand out once you enter the garden. Really quickly before we go, here's one that they got. Now they got me with this one, y'all. They straight up got me with this one. I've seen some at Lowe's and I saw some at Tractor Supply, but I didn't see the pink variegated lemon. I've seen the banana, the kumquat, the lime, the Meyer lemon. Happened to run up on Tractor Supply and I was like, this is what I have been wanting. Variegated pink lemon. My dad grew it on his patio and it is just so pretty. I think I shared a video with y'all maybe a year or a year and a half or a couple years ago where I actually bought some back from his house. and it was really pretty. And I love the variegation of the leaves. Now let me get to the part to how they got me. So y'all, I have looked all on here. Pink lemon key lime. Okay, so I looked all on watch them. I looked all on here. I'm looking at the bottom. I'm saying to myself, it can't be no more. Let me see. Can't be no more than like $19.99. You know, it's a small one stem plant. And so they have some other citrus at the big box stores, but they were like $33, $34. I'm like, oh, this is small. This is a patio tree. It can't be that much. And I looked at the tags. See, this is how they got me. This is how they got me. They didn't get me. I let them get me. I let them get me, y'all. $33. $33. I was like, I wanted to put it back, but I kept looking at the leaves. I just kept looking at the leaves, and I say, this is going to be phenomenal. Okay? So that's how we're going to do that. That's how we're going to think about it, like that. But they did get me. It grows up to 2 to 14 feet tall, and it can be moved indoors. But yeah, if these leaves didn't look like this, I probably would have said, you could take that off. You could take it off. But I went to 2 other different Lowe's, and this one was hard to find. So I don't know if like they only have 1 or 2 like in the whole shipment, and people are just picking it up. And then I went online, like I even went online, and they're around the same price. So I just said, you know what, take one for the team. Make sure you keep this up. This one we can wheel inside if it gets too cold. But it's just the leaves got me. So I hope this video was helpful for y'all. I'm super excited for you to see us get this garden planted. It's really going to be beautiful, and I hope you follow us along on the journey. So as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you share this video with your family and your friends, and if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, tap the subscribe button. Make sure you tap the bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and until the next video, bye bye.